All right, so good evening. Thank you guys for coming again tonight. So tonight we're going to do a bit of rebalancing. We will start with a rest assess, so go ahead and lay back on the ground. Make sure you're sunny side up. Palms are open, and begin to just allow yourself to take several nice long deep breaths, giving yourself the opportunity to invite yourself into your body and allowing yourself to start noticing things that may not be the one thing that always shows up. We can tend to go right to my hip, my shoulder, my neck, whatever, instead of allowing yourself to find those different parts of the body that actually might be a nuance. So maybe it's the one foot that, oh, I'd never noticed that. Or maybe your wrist is kind of tilted up and it should be lying real nice and flat. You may notice one side of your head is more cocked to one side than the other. So just take several breaths and allow yourself to just come in, connect, and let yourself take some easy diaphragmatic breaths. Remember, the idea behind your diaphragmatic breaths is they are your rest and digest breaths. They allow yourself to just settle yourself, to connect into that deeper system so your body can more easily connect. One or two more breaths, just lying there, noticing the masses and spaces now touching the ground. Your heels, your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your ribs, your shoulders, your head, your arms, the spaces, the back of your neck, the small of your back, behind the knees and the ankles. And remember, even with every mass and every space, there's balance. And so, is there balance between your right ankle and your left? Is there balance, or does one knee feel more flat or more pressed or more pulled up even? That arch in your lower back, does it feel very tall, very high, very pronounced? And then your head. When your head sits back into the ground, do you feel that neck sink into the ground, or is it more level? Starting with those first three areas that stuck stress loves to live, the common imbalances. The shoulders should feel evenly weighted back. Ideally, arms should feel evenly weighted. And when you tip your head, turning your chin to your right and left shoulder, you should feel nice and even, no creaking, cracking, popping, or pain. Pain in and of itself is an assessment, so stop if you find pain. Don't try to push through it. Second area that stuck stress loves to live, ideally your rib cage would be settled to the ground and you can feel your rib wall expanding out. You may notice, however, a large wailing back arch. Taking a focused breath, bring your attention into your pelvis. Notice the hips. Does all your weight feel like it's on one side or the other? Ideally, you should feel like you're sitting evenly weighted on each butt cheek. Do your hamstrings feel like they're on or off the ground? Do your calves feel evenly weighted? And do your ankles feel evenly dropped out, east and west? Drawing your attention through the center line of the body, notice the two even and equal halves of each side of the body. Your right side as opposed to your left, does one side feel longer, more or deeper placed into the ground? I want you to keep your mouth closed, place the tongue against the roof of your mouth, and let's breathe in slowly in through and into the diaphragm. Breathing in slow through the nose, fully expand the belly, the ribs, and the back. And then exhaling, slowly lower the body, sinking into the ground. Again, inhaling, expand the rib wall as you take that breath in. It should be soft, yet filling. Exhale gently and slowly. As you take the next breath in, just feel the body opening, expanding, softening. Jaw dropping, eyes settling. Inhale, look up towards the ceiling behind you. Look with your eyes and look down towards your nose or down towards your navel. Inhale, look up and down and up and down. Inhale, look to your right. Bring your head center and look to your left. Head center and look to your right. Head center and look to your left. Eyes lead. Head, nose, chin follows. Slide your feet in so your shins are vertical. Place your hands on your rib wall. And feel that bellowing into your hands as your rib cage presses out. Go ahead and take that roller and bring it underneath and behind the hips. Go ahead and lift your hips up and take your hips up onto the roller. We're going to prep for an SI joint shear, but just make sure you're in the right spot. Index finger can touch the top of the pelvis, thumb can wrap around. You want to make sure that your pelvis is on kind of the top of the roller, not on your head side of the roller. And then just begin to breathe. Take your hands to your rib cage, keep your hands there, and just allow the breath to come in and out as you feel the hips settling their own weight onto the roller. Shoulders are back, chin is towards your sternum. And then with an exhale, bring one knee up and then the other. Begin to tuck your pelvis, bringing your knees towards your face, and then tilt your pelvis, kind of dropping your knees down. So you're actually going to move a little bit here as we're tucking and tilting the pelvis. So it's not really your knees just dropping in, but I want you to think of the movement as happening at the pelvis. If you can do less movement from the knees, do so. Slide your hands up the thighs. Place your palms on your thighs so your fingers are just cresting over the tops of your knees. And gently meet the pressure of your knees into your hands and your hands into your knees. Inhaling and exhaling. Let the weight of your hips sink down into the roller. Inhaling, meet the pressure. Exhaling. Two more nice long even breaths just like that. Inhaling. Watch that the shoulders aren't getting all invaded, all active. One more deep breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Go ahead and begin to just release your hands and just let your knees march gently one after the other. So your right foot drops almost to the floor and then your left.
Alternate those legs. You're not trying to find a lift in your rib cage, so if your rib cage begins to lift, I want you to place your hands on your ribs to kind of as a reminder to keep those ribs down. And then pause, bring both knees to the center and begin a nice small circle. You should be able to feel maybe the sides or the sections of your SI joints. And maybe you're going a little bit wider. Remember, this is more of an ellipse of a circle than like the bottom of a ball. So this isn't a big, wide, round circle, but more of a skinny, narrow circle. And then pause in the center, and then go the other direction. Start small, and get a little bit bigger. And then pause. Bring those knees to center. Hold those knees in. Slide the hands up. So as you slide the hands up, the elbows are straight, ideally. Take your right hand off of your right knee and place it right over your left. Meet the pressure with your knee against your hand and your hand against your knee. And then gently, slowly lower your right foot towards the ground and back up. So moving just and isolating the left side as you mobilize the right side. Lower your right foot down, bring your right knee back up. Breathing. Exhaling. One more. Bring that right knee up, place the left hand on top of the right, and meet that pressure. Begin to gently and slowly lower the left foot down and bring the left knee back up. Breathing, exhaling. Meet that pressure of your hands against your knee and vice versa. Exhaling. Bringing both knees back to center. Place the hands both on top of the knees. Press your arms into, or hands into the tops of the thighs, meeting that pressure with your knees against your hands. Elbows are straight, and try to tuck and tilt your pelvis again. So this is actually called tuck and tilt challenge because you're really keeping your knees from moving, and see if you can really still move that pelvis. You know you have some pretty good hydration in that pelvis is if you can keep the core tight and still move the pelvis. Nice job. Pause and hold. Gently lower your right foot and left foot to the ground and drop your right foot and left foot down. Just pause and then lift your hips up and then take the roller out from underneath you, lowering your back onto the ground again. Just let yourself settle, calm, centered, connected. Again, breathe into the width of the rib wall. Tuck that tailbone and tilt the tailbone. So again, you're moving the pelvis now on firm and flat surface. Watch that you're not just arching your rib cage, but you're allowing for that pelvis to move. Lengthening the spine, finding space even into the neck. Pause and hold. Good. Take that roller back next to you. Roll to one side. Lift your hips up, and we're going to go on the roller, hips to head. Come up on top of the roller. Now, ideally on the roller, you should feel the roller moving down your back, but there should be no real hot spots. But in order to mitigate that, just doing that gentle rocking helps to mitigate and keep those hot spots from building. Because it's not the idea that you're trying to press yourself into the roller so much, but that you're trying to find even connection and allow the nervous system to not be over stimulated by this fact that you're having every part of your vertebra being touched. Breathe. Now remember again, it's not that the roller is moving underneath you. You're moving over the top of the roller, so you can mitigate the movement by just simply doing less, or you can do more and catch yourself rolling from one side to the other. So it can be a little bigger or a little smaller. Pausing here in the center, place your palms on your pelvis and begin again to tuck and tilt the pelvis. It might feel a little bit more even than typical because we've already been up on the roller. Watch that you're not gripping the glutes, pushing into the feet, or bracing and lifting with the rib cage. You can use the breath. And move much slower with your breath. One or two more times. Again, tuck the pelvis with the breath. Find the end of that entire exhalation. Again, inhale and exhale. Take your arms out wide and reach the fingertips to the ground. Inhale and look towards your right shoulder, feeling length and getting longer in that right side. You're getting that length from your ear into your fingertip. You're opening up the whole left side of the neck. Breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bring your head back to center. And then turn your head to your left as you reach your right arm further out. Now watch that you're not too high so you don't want to be getting into those shoulders. Inhale, reach that right arm out as you tilt your head to that left. And then bring your head center. Let's bring our arms all the way up. So your arms are angled down more towards the knees, somewhere about navel height, and just let the shoulders shrug around the roller. Really getting that shoulder, glenohumeral joint, upper back just mobilized. And then bend the elbows and begin 2-arm or double elbow circles. You may notice that your head is more easily adjusted. You can tip your chin a little bit different. Your shoulders may feel more mobilized. It may just feel like you have kind of some imperceivable breathing that just feels like it's just easily coming through the body. Pause, open, and bring those elbows in. And then reach those arms back out so your fingers are now touching or reaching towards the thighs. Inhale, take your right arm overhead, lowering your left arm almost to the ground, and switch. So double arm reach, arm overhead reach. Remember, the arm goes up into eye line and no further really. You're working about 120 degrees with those arms. Relax and let yourself settle deeper into the roller. Feel the breath just finding its guide and guiding the movement of the arms. Bring your arms back into that neutral position over the navel. Fingertips touch, and then just drop your hands to your rib wall. Breathing again into the ribs, into the belly, into the back, exhaling. Two more breaths like that. Ribs, belly, and back expand. And then exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reach your right leg out, roll off the roller. Let's roll back on the ground. So back into that rest assess position or rest reassess. And just allow yourself to feel what's kind of going on in the body. Does it make you feel like one side maybe worked harder than the other? Or does it feel like the body's now a little bit more centered into the ground? Reconnect into that, maybe that one area that you were looking for, that you were trying to be more mindful of. Maybe it's your shoulder, maybe it's your hip, maybe it's your calves. Slide your feet in so your shins are vertical. Roll yourself to one side, and let's take the roller to the upper back, and we'll do half back. We are going to do a rib length assessment first, so I want to make sure that you lift your hips up and tuck that pelvis, and then set the pelvis flat onto the roller. From that pelvis being flat, then take the arms around the head, and just make sure that there's a light touch of your head back into your arms. Reach your hands both out towards the knees, and just begin to kind of punch the hands up one at a time, and just kind of feel the motion of the shoulder blade on the back of the roller. And it should feel like you're scratching the shoulder on the back of the roller. Take the hands behind the head again, make sure the pelvis is slightly tucked, and begin to just lay the torso over the roller. Remember, we're not dropping the head and lifting the pelvis. The pelvis is staying tucked. The head is dropping over. We're looking at rib length, not back extension. And then come up, tilt to your right, and center, and tilt to your left, and center. One more time, tilt to your right. Breathe into that left rib wall, and then center, and then tilt to your left. Breathe into that right rib wall, and then center. Lift your hips up, drop your hips to the right, and then reach your right hand out towards your left leg. And let's begin to do a shoulder circle with that right arm. Just find, almost like you're scratching the back side of that right arm against the roller. And then let's pull that right arm up and over the roller. Make sure that your head is well supported by your hand. You're not pushing it forward, or you're not just holding your head up and your hand just happens to be down there. One more time, open over and back. Good. And then let's come back up to center, bring your right hand behind, and then let's drop the knees, and let's come to the left side. So the left hand is out, begin to do that circle. Roll the shoulder, whether you're going clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't particularly matter. And then roll that shoulder back and forth. Up and over the roller, back towards the knee. Almost like you're throwing something up and over, and then back towards the knee, up and over, and back. Good. Back to center. Bring your hips back underneath you. Make sure you're back in that original position. Tuck the pelvis, arms stretch out. If you want to make sure you can punch forward, take your hands behind your head, and again, check your rib length. Bring your head up a little bit, tilt to your left. Breathe into the right rib wall and tilt to your right. Breathe into the left rib wall. Back to center. And let's just come up, lift those hips up, and we're just going to go about 2 inches forward and back. Just let the torso lay on the top of the roller. So you're not in a curl here so much. You can bend your elbows towards your ears. And just 2 inches forward, 2 inches back. And then pause. And then twist side to side. And then pause and lower the hips. Reset yourself so you're ready for rib length assessment. Check, see if your arms are in the right spot. Take the hands back behind the head. And then again, lower over the roller. And then up, tilt to your left. And then center and tilt to your right. And then center and pause. Roll your hips, roll yourself to one side. Let's take the roller out from underneath you again. And let's lay back on the ground again, just for a real quick reassess. Maybe the ribs feel more centered and more set and stable, connected, released, restored. Maybe the hips feel more level, which is a nice indirect response. Shoulder across the whole shoulder, maybe the arms feel more even. Slide your feet in so your shins are vertical. We're going to get back up into that rebalancing position. So bring that roller underneath you. You're going back, back head to hips. Almost let my head hang off of that. That wouldn't have been very comfortable. Arms are wide again. We want to always start with that gentle rocking. So let's just go side to side. Maybe you do less this time. Maybe you do more. Maybe it just feels real nice and even now. Go ahead and pause right in the center. So I just want you to reach your right hand down. If you can't reach the end of your roller, scoot yourself down so you can get to the end of the roller. But you should just be able to get to it. So your fingertips are wrapped just around the bottom of your roller. And then I want you to look away. So you're looking away from the hand. So if your right hand is on the bottom of the roller, you're looking to your left. And then you're just going to kind of pull into the roller like you're tapping the roller with your fingers, and just get some more length down the whole right side of your neck. Breathe, inhale, and exhale. Take your left hand and place your left hand on your right shoulder just slightly and press down as you keep looking over towards your left. Pull in on that roller with your right hand. Inhale, bring your head center and release your hands both. Gentle rock, right and left. And then you're going to take your left hand, reach as far underneath, so you're kind of stretching to try to reach. So you're pulling already on that left side. And then you're going to look to your right. So I'm pulling with my left, I'm looking to my right, I'm getting some length down that whole left side of my neck. Breathing a couple of times, pulling in, kind of tap the bottom of the roller like you're reaching underneath it and pulling with your fingers. And then take your right hand, place it across, almost like you're doing Pledge of Allegiance, and press that your left shoulder down with your right hand. Breathe. Inhale, release. Bring your head center and just go back into gentle rocking side to side. So we're just trying to release the muscles of the neck, upper back, shoulders, into the top of the clavicle. Pause. Take your arms up. So they're up just about over your chest, and then begin to pull your arms away from each other. And then bring your arms back in, and then pull those arms away from each other. And then back in, and pull those arms away. And as you pull your arms away, don't try to bring your arms too high. Make sure your fingertips kind of start around your belly button because they'll expand, they'll come higher already. And just find that spot just before your arms hit the ground. You're gonna find it feels like what everybody would consider a stretch, but really it's known as a tensional pull. You're pulling the tension in the fascia, the subcutaneous fascia. And in that fascia, you have all kinds of nerves. You have nerves, you have all kinds of connective tissue connecting into the fascia. And so just move those wrists back and forth, kind of like seaweed waves in the water. Just kind of bend those wrists in and out. Feel that opening. It's called a flossing. You're flossing the nerve through those muscles, through this superficial fascial layer, back and forth. And then let the elbows just drop to the ground. Take a big deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Just let your body just roll over the roller in a sense. Slide your right foot out from underneath you, drop off the roller, and lay back on your back. Arms are out wide. Head may feel much more centered. Shoulders may feel even more broadly placed into the ground. And maybe the feet now are dropping out more evenly right and left. Go ahead and slide your feet in so your shins are vertical. Let's take that roller all the way underneath the back of your thighs. Make that smile with the roller. So remember, the roller bends all the way around the back of the thighs. And we're just going to start with an internal, external rotation of those legs. So hold that roller up around the legs. Tip the knees towards each other. Tip the knees back out. So you're really just moving internal, external rotation of the femur inside the joint of the pelvis. And then begin to now go in and out both legs. And you can take those legs out as wide as it feels comfortable, as long as you're not finding pain for one, or getting into a big back arch or something. Turn the toes in, turn the toes out, turn the toes in, turn the toes out. Good. Go ahead and pause. Bend your left knee and just move the right. Roll in, roll out, roll in, roll out. You may not be able to see, but my leg is going almost to the top of the bend of that roller, of the top post, and cross the midline. And then pause that leg and do the other leg. Open and close. My left hip doesn't want to open and close as much as my right. Good, and then pause and just let both legs just settle. And then just tip again, the knees in and out, in and out. Pause again, slide your feet in, and then lift the hips up. Let's bring your back up, or the hips up onto the roller. Rib cage settled. Make sure that your pelvis is flat to the top of the roller. Rib cage is down, hands are by your side. And let's bring your right knee up and cross your right ankle over your left knee. Taking your right hand, starting right where the crease of the pelvis and the hip is, and just start pressing away into that figure four. So the left foot is on the ground, just resting. The right foot is across the left knee, flexed. And then the right hand is just gently massaging the right leg out. And then gently pause and hold. And then bring the right knee back into the chest. Extend the right foot to the ceiling. See if you can find the strength, the length but I want you to then slowly lower that right leg until both knees are in line with each other. Now, out of this extended position, it's real easy to get into a back arch. But what I want you to think about doing is sinking the tailbone into the roller, but sinking the rib cage also. So you're trying to find length in the back of that right leg. And then you're just going to point the toe and push the heel out. Now, this isn't a hard point like you're going to stand on toe shoes. This is a flexion from the back of the heel and an extension. So as if someone's pulling the heel of your boot off. Reach and pull. Now at the same time, it's real easy to arch those ribs. I want you to sink the ribs, but at the same time, sink the tailbone. So you're trying to get length down that whole right leg. 2 more. And last one. Bend the right knee, and I want you to cross it right again over the left knee. And then bring the left knee up for that figure 4 stretch. Take the right hand, place it into that inside of that right knee, and gently bring your left knee towards your chest. Now, what I don't want you to do is yank that knee in and drop the knee into drop everything into the belly. So everything, your pelvis stays nice and level, your right hand presses out, your left knee presses in, and you just hold that right foot flexed. It's gentle. It's not a big pulling, yanking movement. You can flex both feet, or you can keep this left foot relaxed. And again, you're trying to find length, so you're moving the tailbone away from the back of that right thigh without arching the rib cage. Inhale. Exhale. And then gently release. This time you can drop both knees into the chest and just a little bit of a relax. And then drop your right foot, and let's cross your left ankle over the top of the right knee. Now, the interesting thing about figure 4 stretch is it's very dynamic for the lower part of the pelvis, reproductive organs, elimination organs, all very tight through as well as for your lymph. And so you can get a flush feeling. Also, when you're inverted, you can also feel kind of flush as well. So from here again, you're taking your left hand and you're just kind of pressing your left thigh out and away. Relax the ribs. And then pause and hold. And then take that left leg up towards the ceiling. And then lower the left leg down so the knees kind of line up with each other. Dropping the ribs, sinking the tailbone flat to the roller. You're pointing and pressing the heel away and drawing the toe in. Get long, like something's pulling your heel towards that wall out in front of you. Reach through that left leg. Pause, and then let's cross the left ankle over the right knee. And then bring the right knee into the chest. Remember, we're flexing the left foot so we don't put undue stress on that left thigh and knee. Press out with your left hand, hold your left ankle, and meet the pressure. So as you push out with the left hand, you push in with the right knee. Breathing. Exhale. Sink. Pelvis to the top of the roller. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Relax that right foot. Unlace that left knee and just let the knees drop into the belly. Gently and slowly lower your right foot to the ground and then your left. Lift your hips up. Take that roller out from underneath you and lower back onto the ground. Extend the legs out, arms back by your sides. Just feel the body settle into the ground. The arms drop out wide, let the head settle back in. Again, taking your attention across your masses and spaces. Breathe into your nose, tongue against the roof of your mouth, exhaling through your nose, exhaling slow. Inhaling to fill, inflate, expand. Exhale to release, settle, connect. Such a simple function, something that we dismiss for just cause. We do it too easily all day long. But connecting into that breath is restorative, it's rehydrating, it's reconnecting. Slide those feet into the shins are vertical. Shift your hips to one side and roll over.
And we are done tonight. Thank you so much, guys. It's just wonderful sometimes to just come into some positions of rest and connection. So we're not trying to fight both sides of our body, or kind of our mental, intellect side and our physical, somatic side, where you feel touch and connection. So allow this stuff to kind of seep into you. Even if you want to go after all the lights are turned off and go back into kind of a rest assess position, allow yourself to do that so that you can